Courier-Record Facebook followers. This is news editor Billy Colburn of the Courier-Record. This is interview number 6 in our Nottoway County series for the upcoming elections November 7th. Early voting is underway. If you don't know where to vote, email vote@nottoway.org. We are here today with one of the 3 candidates running for the District 4 seat on the Nottoway Board of Supervisors, Blackstone Town Councilman Nathaniel Miller. Mr. Miller, how you doing? Good to see you.
Doing good, Billy. How's everything?
Going well, going well. I know you're busy on the campaign trail. What are people in District 4 telling you, and why is Nathaniel Miller running for the Board of Supervisors?
I'm running for the Board of Supervisors because as I have toured District 4, I've seen a lot of problems out there. You have a lot of people that don't have running water. You have a lot of Cox Road, for instance, what I've been fighting for the last 3 years.
Right.
Throw water out there. Retired people, they can't even wash their clothes, drink the water. Nobody has never, I feel that no one has ever went into District 4 and really seen what was going on in District 4. And me being as I am, since I have completed this project in Ward 8, and I like doing this, I feel that I'm the best candidate for this job because I'm for the people.
And you're referring obviously to the East End Neighborhood Grant, which I think is the largest project the town's ever undertaken.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And I have been on that for the last 5 years, and we finally closed out last month. And
Right.
I'm ready for another project like this. I'm for the people.
Right.
You know, I look out for the people. I have no interest in buying land, and I'm very attentive. I think I've missed one town council meeting in my last 5 years. I'm always there.
And you're a retired veteran.
I'm a retired veteran.
Right.
I am.
You've been a VFW post leader, I believe.
I'm an All-American commander for the Veterans of Foreign Wars, and I have a lot of member of the Nottoway Gators board, which is when I came on council. You remember, my goal was to get the Nottoway Gators a place to play football,
and they will have a place
and
next year.
will have a place to play football
right here at Wigglesworth Stadium.
Right here at Wigglesworth Stadium. So you see, Billy, I just don't talk, but I realize one thing. You have to have a working and agreeable council to work with you.
Right.
And as if you have seen, our council in the past, we got a lot accomplished. And I'm proud of it. The town employees are proud of it. Like I said, I'm a people's person.
Right.
And I'm for the needy and people that don't have and people that don't understand and don't know how to get it.
Right.
And as I've said, I have learned a lot working in this East End project, and I'm ready to put it forth for the county to help these people in my district that I see that need it.
You kind of answered my next question. Obviously, you're a town councilman, and obviously, if you're not successful, you still have your town council seat. What would you tell District 4 folks who don't live in the town of Blackstone? They may think, well, he's going to still be looking out for the town and not worried about us in the county. You're pretty much saying you want to move your area of focus to the county. Is that right?
I want to focus my area. In other words, I'll never leave Blackstone.
Okay.
But I want to focus my area out into the county where I feel that the people need to. Because, really, everybody's not fortunate to have running water and drinking water. But these people have retired. And they don't have money. And as you know, for this Cox Road project, we just about had something settled.
It was 4 years plus. All
Right.
we needed was the county's permission.
All we needed was the county's permission.
Right.
So I feel that if I get to the county, that we will be able to get it done.
It's all right. Happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
Well, let me answer this now. The incumbent, Sherman Vaughn, is I believe I'm safe in saying this. I believe he is the longest serving supervisor in the entire history of Nottoway County, certainly in the last 100 years. And he had indicated 2 months ago he was going to make an endorsement. To my knowledge, he has not made an endorsement. Would the endorsement of Mr. Vaughn mean something to you, but something you would seek, or are you indifferent about that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I would get his endorsement. As you see, I'm like the lone sheep out here. So I have to fend for myself. If he was to recognize me, I would accept it. But I'm going to go on my own, what I have already did. I'm going to go on my record.
Okay.
And if you look and you check into my record, what I'm telling you is the truth. I've worked the food banks around here. In other words, I've been very valuable in this community.
Yeah, certainly. So now you were in one of those weird things that happens every now and then. It's a three-way race,
Yes.
and there have been some comments on Facebook. This seat was District 4 is court ordered drawn to have a black majority to increase the likelihood of black representation.
Right.
There were two blacks in this race, you being one of them, and one white. There have been some folks saying, well, they're going to split the vote and somebody needs to drop out. What do you say to those folks who have, they brought the race issue up? It's been public, and what do you have to say about that?
Well, I have a lot to say about that because I was content on being on town council. And I searched and I kept asking my opponent, what are you going to do? Never no result. So
One of your two opponents. Or
one of the
okay.
two opponents.
Okay.
Never could get an answer. So rather than to see the district fall and not be what it was, which is minority, I figured I had to step in. And plus, another reason was because of the water situation and the condition of District 4. And I feel that they have been left out. And I feel that I can do much better.
What do you have to say? And it's no secret. People have talked about it.
Let's get this clear.
Oh, yes. Go ahead. Yes.
I will not step down.
Okay. You made that clear.
I'm making this very clear. I have spent my money.
The ballot's set. I mean, even if someone were to, even if one of the other two were to withdraw, their names on the ballot.
Right.
So you're full steam ahead.
I'm full steam.
Okay.
Right.
What would you say to people? And you've heard this. I think maybe you and I have chuckled about it off camera weeks, months ago. The drama in Nottoway County. What is causing? For years, the unrest. If there was any drama in the county, it was at Blackstone Town Hall. We went through a lot of change before you got on council. But the drama at the courthouse, 2-3 years running now, and it's been a spectacle. What's causing that, and what would you do to maybe try to stop it?
First of all, I would relate my experience back to town council. We all have had problems on town council, including you with the mayor.
Absolutely, right. Sure.
But it's such a thing as being able to sit down and talk. See, a lot of things that I found out people are bringing to council that are really not relevant. You understand what I'm saying? So they're not focusing on what should be done because there's outside interference. And I've seen it in the county, and I've seen it here.
When you say outside interference, you mean like maybe just, I'm guessing, I can't read minds, citizens who are trying to stir up something that may not be in the function of government, that sort of thing?
It's not in the function of government. And I always say, I've been beat up on council. I got beat up my very first night on council. But I take it as a lesson learned, So a lot of things happening because people go, councilman included, we go out and somebody comes to us and we say, okay, we're going to get this done.
Never make a promise you can't keep.
Never make a promise you can't keep. So when you get to the board, you done told these people you can do it. So then when you get to the board disappears, then you got a problem. Instead of sitting down, bringing it forth and talking about it before it even gets in the air.
Right.
Never make a promise you can't keep.
I used to tell people when I was bumping the food line, I'd always say I would bring that to council's attention. Sometimes I say, you've got a good point. You may have a good chance. Sometimes you say, that's going to be a Hail Mary. But if you want to bring it up to council, come on to council. That's the key is you'd be, of course, now you're one of seven. If you're successful, you'd be one of 5. You feel like you have the teamwork and experience to go to the next level.
Well, let's put it this way.
Okay.
We're having a problem in Blackstone. Lady needed money for a house. I think you remember this incident.
Mm.
We needed $50,000 to complete a house. So I talked to Philip, and I went up there to Miss Katie Tolman, and I talked to her. The houses.
Because the county had funds from
the
Aquarius grant project,
but nobody had never asked them about it until Philip gave me the idea, and I went up there and we got a check for $50,000. Same way with the Gators, they were in need of money to get it. we got $50,000 for the county. Yes, I feel I can work with the county. I can work with anybody because I'm going in there with the attitude, hey, you're a man and I'm a man.
What are
We're
you?
for the people. It's not about self.
Right.
Right.
One of the biggest things you're going to have if you're elected to the board, though, one of your biggest responsibilities is I think the figure is 75% of the local tax revenue goes to fund the schools. Do you believe that Nottoway County Public Schools are overfunded, underfunded, properly funded? Because that's going to be one of the biggest things you'd have to do as a supervisor. Any thoughts on that?
My thoughts on the school is this. I hear a lot about it. I see a lot, but I think that this is something that the Board of Supervisors should set down. I think that this should be all agreed upon as far as the school
So
budget.
more communication between the school board and board of supervisors
Right,
instead of talking to each other through the newspaper
right,
and
right,
elsewhere.
right. Because you're not getting anything done in the newspaper.
No. No,
The same way,
it sells papers and it's entertaining, but
Right.
like I said, it doesn't move the needle.
the same way when you're not at a meeting, you're not representing your people because the people voted you in to represent them at a meeting. So how can you represent a citizen when you don't attend meetings or you on video?
Right.
As I say, my record speaks for itself.
How about another hot button issue? Again, you may take if you're elected, you could take office and have to make a decision on industrial solar farms in Nottoway County. Have you given any thought to that issue?
I really, as I stated in the forum, I really don't know that much about. I'm not that educated on solar, but I'm learning a little bit more about it each day. But as far as making a decision right now, I couldn't do it.
Understood.
Because I don't. It wouldn't be fair to the solar farmer, nor would it be fair to the citizen to make a decision about something I don't know a whole lot about.
Are you concerned? I know one of the things you've been concerned about on council and is affordable housing. We've had the rent and the real estate market boom, and the local folks at middle and low income are getting squeezed. What are your thoughts about, the other thing you do as a supervisor is taxation.
Right.
And the property value is going to go up with the reassessment. Where does Nathaniel Miller stand on taxation? Do you believe Nottoway County might need to up the tax increase to be more progressive, or do you believe that Nottoway County should keep it down low and to try to attract people that can afford to live here?
There again, affordable housing. I don't see where Nottoway County has ever pursued it. That is one of what my second goal is to pursue affordable housing in Nottoway County. And by doing that, since I've learned about these grants and stuff, I want to give my knowledge and get with a grant writer and start writing grants for Nottoway County because I don't think it's impossible. It's just something I think that has never been done.
I can only recall in the last 30 years there were some housing rehab projects, one on Good Hope Road in the early 90s and then Chute Road, maybe early 2000s, but those were housing rehab. You're talking about new housing
For the
Section 8 affordable housing. Right.
Because, Billy, let's face it, who can afford $1,200?
I don't know how people are doing it. I don't know how people are doing it. Well, I don't know how people afford $800 or $900 a month rent.
So you see, and it's a crisis in Blackstone because people in Blackstone, unless you retire from the government or something, or you National Guard or something, it's hard then.
Right.
So you can imagine what little Joe is going through.
Yeah, and the young couples today starting out, with interest rates high now, even the ones that have some income to buy a house at 7% interest, versus 3 years ago you could buy it for 3 or in the twos.
Well, like I said, I would like to try the county has grant writers, and my very first day on the job would be to go see about this in this water situation.
What is Nathaniel Miller? I know you've been very involved with the Nottoway Gator youth football. Where do you stand? I've heard some people say, fewer and fewer volunteers, a countywide Parks and Rec department. Is that something you would entertain?
Yes, I would. I would entertain it to the fullest.
Because the Gators are different than the Rec Association.
Right.
Y'all have to raise money for your football program.
Everything the Gators get, they go out and get it on their own. Nobody gives them nothing.
Yeah, they're not getting any county
There's
funding.
no county funding whatsoever.
Okay.
But the county did give us money to work on the field.
Right.
And I thank them for that.
And the field you think is going to be satisfactory? I know there's concerns,
Well,
rocks and stuff at one
right.
point.
But if you notice now, we have a tractor and some dirt out there. So they're going to fill in the soft spot. The Gators will be playing next year.
That's great.
You know,
if you had all the voters of District 4, and of course, if you live in District 4, you'll be voting either at Blackstone Primary School or Bellefonte Grange, and you know, undecided voter, what would you tell an undecided voter? They're like, well, I know all three of the candidates. I like all three. I'm torn. What's your closing argument to the people of District 4 that may be on the fence or maybe even thinking about another candidate? What would you tell them?
Vote for me. My results speak for itself. I am for the people. And if elected, everything I said here and told you today, you can believe I will pursue it. And Cox Road, and it's affordable housing, and one more thing, medical care.
I know that's one thing you have.
I've been very vocal about
that. Yes. And we tried, and it may be time to try again.
And that's another thing. Yeah. So in other words, Billy, what I'm saying is, if you elect me, I'm coming on the ground working,
running.
And I say this: don't vote because you like a person. Vote for what you feel is going to get done. And I feel I'm the best man for the job.
Well, folks, you've heard it here from the horse's mouth here, Mr. Nathaniel Miller. The election is November 7th. Early voting's underway. And again, you have plenty of time to vote early. If you don't know where to vote, call the Nottoway Registrar's office. You can email them, vote@nottoway.org. Mr. Miller, we thank you for your time. And we'll have another interview coming up very soon. Thanks so much.